The clang of metal echoed through the workshop as Alex wiped grease from his hands. His days were usually quiet, filled with the hum of machinery and the hiss of pneumatic tools. He had long accepted the routine of repairing ships for traders, miners, and the occasional curious explorer who passed through the station. Life in the orbital repair hub was monotonous, but it was steady, and he liked it that way. That morning, he had barely finished breakfast when a strange signal lit up the entryway. It wasn't unusual for visitors to wander into the workshop, but the alert indicated a visitor of high priority. Alex frowned and wiped his hands again, not expecting anything extraordinary. The door hissed open, and he blinked. Standing there was a figure unlike any he had ever seen. Tall, elegant, and wrapped in shimmering robes that seemed to shift color in the light, the alien princess looked like she had stepped out of a dream. Her skin was pale with a faint luminescence, and her eyes glimmered like polished amber. Despite her regal appearance, there was a tired, almost human-like hunger in her gaze. "Any spare sandwiches?" she asked, her voice soft yet commanding. Alex froze for a heartbeat, unsure if he had heard correctly. He had expected formalities, maybe requests for technical assistance, but not a casual question about food. He blinked again and stammered, yes, I think I have some. Just a moment." He rushed to the small fridge in the corner, grabbed 2 sandwiches, and handed one to her. She took it with a gentle nod of thanks, her long fingers brushing his briefly. It was a fleeting touch, but it sent a strange warmth through him. "I haven't eaten properly in hours," she admitted, taking a careful bite. "Traveling through the sectors is more exhausting than I anticipated." Alex watched her quietly, suddenly aware of how extraordinary this moment was. A royal visitor, of all things, had casually asked for a sandwich, and now she was here in his small, cluttered workshop. "Well," he said finally, "you're welcome. I'm Alex, by the way. I fix ships mostly." "I am Alara," she replied, her gaze steady. "And I suppose my ship requires your expertise." Alex blinked. He had expected something grand, ships of incredible technology, vessels gleaming with power, but when he turned toward the hangar bay, he found a sleek craft, small but finely constructed. Its hull was scratched in places, and one of the propulsion coils flickered weakly. "I can take a look," he said, hiding the mixture of awe and nerves rising in his chest. For the next few hours, Alex worked with a precision he had honed over years. Alara observed quietly, occasionally asking questions about parts or systems. She did not hover or demand. She simply watched, her eyes bright with curiosity. There was an elegance to the way she moved, even in simple gestures, that made Alex conscious of every motion he made. When the final repair was complete, the ship hummed smoothly, its propulsion stabilized. Alex wiped his hands again and leaned against the workbench, feeling satisfaction at a job well done. Elara approached him, her expression thoughtful. "Your work is remarkable," she said. "I have met engineers across many systems, yet your skill stands out. It is rare to find such care." Alex felt his cheeks warm. Compliments were not something he was accustomed to, especially from a figure of royalty. "Thanks," he muttered, looking down at the floor. There was a pause. Then she tilted her head slightly and asked, "Do you travel often between stations?" "No," Alex replied. "Mostly here. I like the routine. You might find adventure elsewhere," she said softly, a trace of a smile on her lips. "But perhaps you do not wish for it." Alex considered her words. He had spent years fixing ships and observing travelers, imagining what it would be like to journey among the stars. Yet something in the quiet stability of the station kept him grounded. Still, there was a pull in her words, a hint that life could be more than wrenches and welding torches. Over the next few days, Alara remained at the station. Her ship required minor adjustments, and she insisted on observing every repair. Alex found himself explaining systems he had never thought to teach, and she listened with a keen attention that was both flattering and unnerving. One evening, as the station's artificial lights dimmed to simulate night, Alara approached him while he was cleaning a set of tools. "Alex," she said softly, "you have a rare gift. Not just skill, but patience, understanding. I have seen engineers who rush, who overlook details. You notice, you care." Alex paused, unsure how to respond. No one had ever described him that way before. "I just do my best," he said finally. "That is enough," she said with a quiet nod. More than enough. As days passed, they shared meals, conversations, and occasional laughter. Alex learned of her world, a realm of floating cities and vast starships, of politics and responsibilities he could barely comprehend. In return, he shared his simpler life, the satisfaction of fixing things that were broken, the comfort of routine, and the small joys that came with it. It was during one of these quiet meals that Alara made a confession. "Alex, I did not expect to find this," she said, gesturing vaguely between them. "A life that is not bound by protocol, not weighed by expectation. I feared it would be impossible." Alex frowned. "What do you mean?" "I have spent my life preparing to rule, to navigate court and diplomacy," she said. "But here, with you, I see something different. Something real." The word struck him. He had never imagined someone like her could feel the same way he did about simplicity, about connection. Yet her gaze was earnest, unguarded, and something in him shifted. As the repairs on her ship concluded, it was time for her to depart. Alex had expected this moment to be brief, a formal farewell. Instead, she lingered, her hands clasped in front of her. "Alex," she said, her voice quiet but firm, "I do not ask often, but would you consider joining me? Not as a servant or a subject, but as a companion, as someone whose life might be intertwined with mine?" Alex's heart raced. The thought was exhilarating and terrifying. He had always dreamed of adventure, but he had never dared to imagine it could come in this way. I don't know if I can leave this station," he admitted honestly. "You need not decide now," she said. "But know that the offer stands. The universe is vast, and I wish to explore it with someone who understands, who cares as you do." For a long moment, Alex considered his options. He thought of the quiet hours in the workshop, of the hum of machinery, of the comfortable solitude he had always cherished. Then he thought of Alara, of her gentle presence, her curiosity, her warmth. And he realized that perhaps life's routine was not the only path. "I will think about it," he said finally, a small smile breaking across his face. Ilara's own smile was radiant. "That is all I ask," she said. "Even to consider is more than many would dare." When she departed, Alex watched her ship glide into the void of space. He felt a strange emptiness, yet also a spark of something new, a sense of possibility, of worlds beyond the station, of life unbound. Weeks passed, and the station hummed with its usual rhythm. Yet Alex found himself lingering by the hangar bay, imagining the stars through Ilara's eyes. He repaired ships with renewed care, knowing that somewhere out there, someone extraordinary had noticed him, had seen value in the life he had quietly built. Then, one evening, a familiar signal lit up the entryway. His heart skipped a beat as he turned, and there she was, Ilara, stepping into the workshop with that same effortless grace. "Have you decided?" she asked, her eyes bright. Alex swallowed, feeling the weight of choice, of fear, of excitement. But he also felt certainty, a quiet knowledge that he could not ignore. "Yes," he said finally, a smile spreading across his face. "I'll come with you." Her expression lit up, and for the first time, The vastness of space seemed less intimidating, less unknown. Together, they would face the galaxy. The princess and the mechanic, each learning from the other, each discovering the strength and resilience of humanity in a universe that often underestimated it. As the engines of her ship roared to life, Alex looked out at the stars, feeling the thrill of adventure he had never known, and a deep, unshakable confidence that he belonged among them. For the first time, the universe seemed wide open, full of possibility, and Alex knew that life, in its simplest and most profound moments, could change forever with a single, unexpected question. "Any spare sandwiches?" The station faded behind them, a speck among the infinite stars, and Alex felt alive, ready to embrace the unknown with the princess at his side. It was a beginning, not just of a journey across the galaxy, but of a life reimagined, a life expanded beyond the ordinary, a life where humanity's courage and curiosity could truly shine. In the quiet hum of the ship, as stars streaked past the viewport, Alex realized that sometimes the smallest gestures, the offering of a sandwich, the kindness in a glance could change destinies. And in that moment, he knew that his life, once ordinary and predictable, had been transformed forever by the presence of an alien princess who simply asked for something to eat. He smiled, thinking that adventure might just be the most unexpected gift of all.